Welcome to Let's Talk About Scams. I'm your host, Joyce Petrowski, founder of R.O.S.E Resources Outreach to Safeguard the Elderly, where our mission is to prevent the financial exploitation and defrauding of the older adults through advocacy and education. You can find more resources on our website at R.O.S.E.advocacy.org. You can follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn. Those icons are on the homepage of the website. And if you scroll down on the homepage, you'll find where you can sign up for our email newsletter. And we have a mailed newsletter. You can sign up for either one or both. And remember, talk to your loved ones about what you learned here today so we can all help each other better protect ourselves. And don't forget, you're going to want to subscribe to the Let's Talk About Scams podcast. So let's get started. Well, the first thing I want to do is just do a quick review of the last episode, the anatomy of a scam, the 3 parts. The first part, initiating contact. Scammers have many different ways to contact you. The phone, the email, online, social media, the chat apps like WhatsApp and other chat apps, the Messenger on Facebook, and online games. So they have a variety of different ways that they can contact you. And then the second part is creating a compelling reason to act. Now, they have many different reasons to get you to act, and they want you to act on your emotions. So they are going to come up with a compelling reason to get you into an emotional state so you'll act in that emotional state. The emotions run the gamut. They could be fear, need, greed, isolation. You could be excited you're about to win this prize. You could be happy because you found love. Also, you could get scared that maybe your Social Security account's going to get locked. The IRS is saying you owe money. Your grandchild's in trouble. They have many different ways to scare you, to get you to act. The third part is requesting payment. Now, they love to get their payment quickly, so they're going to want you to wire transfer. They could do crypto. Gift cards are really popular because all they need are the numbers on the back of that card, and it's anonymous and it's gone. And those cash apps, we use Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, all those different ones. Those can be used by scammers as well. So those are the 3 signs or the 3 different parts of anatomy of a scam: creating or initiating contact, creating a compelling reason to act, and requesting payment. Now, these 3 parts, they're pretty versatile with all different types of scams. Romance scam, tech support scam, grandparent scam, investment scams. But there's one scam that I want to focus on today, the charity scam. We're getting close to the holidays here and also to the year end. And there's a lot of charities that do a big push at the year end for year-end fundraising, just like R.O.S.E is going to do. And so you're going to get contacted. And in a variety of different ways, you could receive things in the mail, you could get emails, you could get phone calls wanting you to make donations. Well, let's break the charity scam down into those 3 parts. So the initiating contact, we just talked about that. You could get something in the mail. You could get a phone call asking for donations. You could get an email. Lots of different ways they're going to create contact. Creating a compelling reason to act. Okay? There are lots of stuff going on in the world right now with the Russia-Ukraine fighting, the Israel-Palestine fighting, natural disasters, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, all different types of natural disasters. These are the scammers' compelling reasons. They're going to focus on natural disasters. They're going to focus on what's happening around the world, especially when, like with the devastation in Ukraine and now with the devastation between Israel and Palestine. They're going to be calling, sending information, emailing, saying, we're helping the women and children in Ukraine, or we're helping the women and children in Israel or Palestine, or whatever part of the world there's stuff going on that makes the national news. They're going to use that to their advantage, and they're going to play on your emotions. Because who doesn't want to help women and children, especially in parts of the world, and it could be right here in the United States as well, that are going through violence, that are going through natural disasters, things like that. So they're going to use those emotions to get you to donate. And then the third part, requesting payment. So a lot of times they're just going to want you to give them their credit card. If they're calling you, the easiest way is for you to read your credit card information over to them. They've got it. They're going to make the charge. But then guess what? If it's a scammer, they're going to now have your credit card information, and they're going to do a lot more with it than just that $25 or $50 they might have asked you for. They could ask for gift cards. Say, it's just so much easier if we have gift cards. If you could go out and get this gift card, and I'll call you back, or I'll stay on the phone with you and just read me the numbers on the back. It's anonymous. It's quick. They get their money right away. They could ask if, they're asking for a larger sum of money, they could ask for a wire transfer. There's just a lot of different ways. So we want you to stop, and we want you to think, okay, have I ever heard about this charity before? Is this a charity that maybe I've donated to in the past? Is this a charity that maybe I have a relationship with someone at the charity? There's so many really good charities out there, and especially the larger, more well-known national, worldwide charities. Scammers like to impersonate them. It's unfortunate, but they do. So they could be impersonating a valid charity, a more national, well-known charity, or they could just be making up a name of a charity. Well, for your protection, if you don't have a relationship with that charity, and and through your relationship, you know that this is a valid charity that you're donating to, you're going to want to verify that charity. And there's a couple different ways you can verify that charity. Remember what we say? Verify before trusting. So there's two websites. You could go on to the IRS.gov, and you could type in the search bar charities or charity verification, and it's going to come up, and there'll be a link that you could go to that says look up a charity, and you click on that link, and then it's going to ask you for some information. There's a bunch of different ways that you could ask that website, the IRS website, to search for a charity. By the name, by the geographic location, by the address, lots of different ways. The best way is to have the charity's tax identification number, their EIN, their employer identification number, that is assigned by the IRS. Every charity has their own specific tax identification number that is assigned by the IRS. You are going to want to have that number, and you're going to want to search by that number. Okay? And it will come up, and it will tell you if this is a valid charity, what section of the IRS code that the charity belongs to. Like R.O.S.E is a 501c3 public charity. It'll come up and say that on there. It'll tell you, tax deductions or tax donations are tax deductible, different things like that. Now, there's also a second website that you could go on to, and it's called charitynavigator.org. Again, that's charitynavigator.org. And again, you can search the charity by the tax identification number. Okay. And it will come up. If it's a valid charity, it will come up and give you lots of different information. If there's no such charity with that tax identification number, it's going to come up and tell you there's no such charity listed under this tax identification number. So let me explain why you don't want to search by the name. And I'm going to use R.O.S.E as an example. Okay. So if you're on our website at R.O.S.E.advocacy.org, or you've gotten information from us, you found us, on the web, and you're on the Facebook, the LinkedIn, the website, you're going to see that it's capital R period, capital O period, capital S period, capital E period, and then resources / outreach to safeguard the elderly. Well, when we applied to the IRS, they didn't really like all those periods and those slash marks. So they put us in just as R.O.S.E, resources, outreach to safeguard the elderly. And I don't even really remember, unless I go back and look at the letter from the IRS, they might not have even capitalized every letter in R.O.S.E. But the point is, you're going to put our name in with the periods and the slash mark. And then when you go to search it, it's going to come up that there's no such charity. And then you're going to think, oh my gosh. Well, that's because the IRS spells it a little differently than what we do. So that's why it's always good to search by the tax identification number. Now, our tax identification number is 87-247-8349. If you put that in, you're going to get the information that comes up that shows we're a valid charity and your donations are tax deductible, and it's going to give you a bunch of other information. When we were incorporated, when the IRS determined we were a charity, what state we're in, all of that stuff. Okay. So this is your way to verify a charity before you give your credit card information out, before you send a check, before you give them cash, a gift card, whatever it is. Verify the charity. Now, another thing to keep in mind, if this is a brand new charity, it takes the IRS a couple months to get their systems updated. So if this is a brand new charity and you put the tax ID number in, it still might come up that there's no charity, because it takes the IRS a couple months to get their systems updated. And Charity Navigator uses the information from the IRS. So if it is a brand new charity with a new tax determination letter from the IRS, ask that charity. Say, okay, I have your tax ID number, but can you give me a copy of your tax determination letter from the IRS? There should be no reason why they won't give that to you. And then that'll have the information on there as to when they were approved to be a charity with the IRS, the date of approval. It's going to say what subsection of the IRS code, that their charity references. And then you'll be able to say, oh, yep, they were, it's a new charity. They just got their status a month ago. So that's probably why it's not updated in the IRS system or the Charity Navigator system. So keep that in mind. Again, that's just more information on how to determine if the charity is a valid charity. Now, once you've gone through all those steps and you've determined, okay, this is a valid charity, and I want to make a donation to this charity. I love their mission. I love what they're doing. I have a passion for their mission. You could call them and do a credit card. You can go on their website, and most charities have a donate button or a donation page where you can make a donation. You can send them a check in the mail, okay? But you are going to want to make sure, if you are doing this on the website, that you have the verified website of the charity. I would not use any information that the person over the phone gave you. I would do your own due diligence and look it up online for the verified website of that charity. If you don't want to do it online and you want to call them, again, find the verified phone number for that charity so you know that you are calling that charity and not a scammer pretending to be that charity. Okay? Same thing with the website. Go on the verified website to make sure you're on that charity's website and not a website that the scammer might have made up looking a lot like the charity. Okay? If you're going to write a check and mail it, again, make sure it's the verified address for that charity so you know it's going to the right place. So we've talked a lot today about charity scams. You need to know that these happen throughout all different times of the year. When there's a natural disaster, when there's wars going on, conflict going on, scammers use those national and worldwide events to their advantage. So just be leery when these national worldwide events happen, natural disasters happen, that you all of a sudden could start getting contacted by these charities. And that's where you're going to want to do your due diligence and make sure that you know who it is you're donating to, that they're verified, that they are a charity, you're on the right site, you have the right phone number, you have the right mailing address. And it is getting to be the year end, and just know that a lot of charities will do a lot of fundraising for year-end giving, okay? A lot of valid charities out there that are going to be doing this. But again, scammers have caught on, and they kind of know the cycles when the charities do their fundraising, especially at year end. And so they're going to use that to their advantage. So again, with any request for a donation, make sure you verify that it's a legitimate charity. Make sure you verified the website you're on. You verified the mailing address if you're mailing them, or you verified the phone number if you're going to call them. All right. This is all for your protection and to be able to make sure that your hard-earned money gets to the right places to help those that you want to help. So, in closing, always remember to have a healthy skepticism with unexpected contact. Always question, why are they contacting me? Who is this person? Why do they want my information? Why do they want my money? Always have a healthy skepticism. Slow down and take time to talk to a trusted person about the situation and verify the situation before you even begin to think about giving out any personal information or any money. You talk to that trusted person, you could be in that emotional state that scammer wants you in. Your trusted person is in a rational state. They can help you walk through the situation, and then maybe you're not in that emotional state anymore and you're thinking rationally, and then you're understanding, okay, yep, that you're right, this is a scam. No contact. And remember, scams can happen to anybody. Doesn't matter your age, your IQ, anything. Everybody is susceptible to being scammed, unfortunately, because we're all emotional people, right? So just remember that scams can happen to anyone. And the more we talk about it, the more we can have the protection tools in the back of our minds so we know how to protect ourselves and keep our money and our hard-earned assets for ourselves and our family, if you're going to share it with your family. So thank you for joining me today. And remember to talk to your loved ones about what you've learned here today. If you have any questions about what I discussed, please feel free to send us an email at info@roseadvocacy.org, and I'll get back to you. And also, if there's a specific topic you want me to dive into in one of these future episodes, send us an email, info@R.O.S.E and we can get that scheduled for a future episode. You can find more resources and sign up for our newsletters at R.O.S.E And remember, you're going to want to click that subscribe button so you get a lot of information on the different scams and a lot of information on how you can better protect yourself. Thank you.